Happy Halloween, Cozy Gamers! After years of meaning to do this, I'm finally here to showcase some of my Animal Crossing New Horizons horror builds. All of these are creations of mine from over a year ago, so it was nice for me too to go back into Happy Home Paradise to check them out. I've also included some spooky areas on my actual island, including the inside of my own character's house. I'm a big fan of horror, so I hope you like them and appreciate all the horror references I threw in. First up is Lucy's dollhouse. As you can see from the outside, I went with something that was cute, but still with ominous fog. Going inside, it actually looks quite normal. In fact, the downstairs was inspired by actual antique dollhouses. Don't ask about that back room though, I'm not sure why I never finished that. Now for the upstairs, that's where it gets weird. A long, thin attic with spooky sounds and affects along the way. I'm particularly proud of the toy box containing a gyroid. Something is just beneath the surface of toys trying to get out. I really love Dolly, and she was right at home in this build. Spoiler alert, you'll be seeing her again in upcoming builds too. Next up is T-Bone's A Place That Stirs the Soul, which I interpreted as hell. A hell filled with gyroids that feast on the flesh of those who end up there. And is that a spice rack? Always season your meat, friends. Gotta say, T-Bone looks right at home here. Gruff's House of Horror is next, and this is one that unfortunately I never finished. If you don't immediately get the reference, I was going for a Scream build, specifically the ending sequence at Stu Macher's house party. There are cars parked out front with beer, the garage where Tatum dies, and the boat in front that Sydney ends up landing on when jumping from the second story window. Inside, I was trying to recreate the kitchen and living room where Stu's head is crushed by the TV, but for some reason I stopped there. Maybe one day I'll come back and finish it. Sly's house, named My Hide and Seek Jungle, takes inspiration from Jurassic Park. The outside is supposed to evoke the opening of Jurassic Park 2, in which the rich family's daughter is attacked on the beach by a pack of Compsognathus. Inside is a typical jungle scene. It looks as if Sly got lost and is checking his map by a campfire at night. But little does he know that those pack of tiny, flesh-eating dinos are lurking just beyond his field of view. Good luck, Sly! Rocco's Danger Zone is a very simple yet very specific reference to a scene from the first season of the Chucky TV series, in which Chucky kills someone by knocking them out of an office window with a mail cart. Nothing says danger to me more than that. Or, at least at the time that I made this, that was the case. All I know is Rocco should probably move out of the way. Naomi's Art Cafe isn't really a cafe at all, at least not one that's in business anymore. I like to think that Naomi bought this building for cheap after mysterious hauntings kept every other potential buyer at arm's length. Maybe it wasn't the building she wanted, but the art inside. Or maybe it was just one very special doll. A doll that seems to radiate negative energy, that keeps pulling Naomi in, making her weaker and weaker every day. Sprocket's Robo Depot is one of my favorites and another Chucky reference, this time based off the abandoned Good Guys doll factory from Child's Play 2 and 3. Inside, you can see how the dolls are made. Starting with the skeleton, the dolls pass through and receive their cloth exterior. Then they move on to be dyed red, and finally a voice box is put inside of them, so they can be your friend till the end. I just wonder if these dolls are talking without batteries. Tabby's Scary Old Hospital is a combination of two classic horror movies, the first of which can be seen outside. This is a recreation of Halloween 1978 when Michael Myers escaped Smith Grove's asylum, which allowed other patients to escape and roam the grounds on a dark, rainy night. Inside, however, the abandoned hospital proper, Dolly seems to have taken over reception, and in the back, well, Tabby seems to be enjoying some kind of operation. But why the chainsaw? And the camera? And, oh my god, are those garbage bags moving? And what's the pink slime dripping from the ceiling? Let's check it out. Now, upstairs is where the second reference becomes obvious. The Blob. a pink gelatinous monster from outer space that eats anything and anyone. It seems like whoever was studying it didn't make it. Hope Tabby's not next. Clay's House of Chills is definitely that. Chilling. The outside is gloomy, but the inside? The inside is much worse. You enter on a dark, decrepit dining room, a skeleton on the table. Were these cannibals? An engagement ring left in its box on the right. What's the story? Let's check upstairs. Oh, we have a stroller in the middle of a spooky room, watched over by Dolly, a chainsaw, and a jar of organs? A demon mare behind with bloody handprints and a skeleton in a cage. So the original story for this one is that a cultist marries and impregnates women in order to sacrifice their babies to a demon looking to escape its shackles. Once one bride has served her purpose, she's locked away and eventually fed to the new one. Unfortunately for our demon, they're only strong enough to inhabit the body of a doll. For now. Maybe I'm a bit sick for this one. And finally, my actual island. First up is my basement. Nothing too special, just a typical don't go down to the basement. Lots of boxes, bugs, webs, tools, and a freezer that's shaking? You know, normal stuff. And don't be too alarmed at Dolly. She lives in my house and she's always popping up somewhere, like in my kitchen. I'm sure she's just looking at that knife because I forgot to put it in the sink. Now, on the outside of my island, there's a haunted campground up in the mountains, but unfortunately the bridge was cut long ago. By who? Let's find out. Jump in the pipe and discover that it was just Dolly that cut the bridge. How silly of her. She's so crazy. Looking around, it seems the campsite really is abandoned. Blood seeping from the tents and a horrific monster appearing from a spell book. Maybe the kids here dabbled with something they shouldn't have. And the final piece is actually just Dolly doing her due diligence. It may look suspicious, what with the red trail and the handprints in the well, but I'd like to think that Dolly was just helping someone clean up some cherry jam they spilled. It is an orchard after all. Dolly really is the sweetest. And that's it. All my spooky builds in Animal Crossing New Horizons. Glad to finally have them recorded and saved here on YouTube. Hope you liked them and weren't scared away by my dark inspirations. If you liked this video and want more cozy gaming content, yes, cozy, this is just a Halloween special. My other content is cozier. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And if you want to chill with me live, check me out on Twitch where I stream 3 days a week. Until next time, cozy gamers, stay cute.